The Python break statement breaks out of a loop. For example, let's do for I in range 10. And we want to tell the young folks to get off of our lawn and not let the code print the number 6 or the one after 6. So we do if I equals 6, break. After that, just print I. If we run this code, we'll see the printing stopped after the number 5, which is exactly how the Python break statement works. This gets a bit more interesting if you consider nested loops, though, as the break statement only breaks out of the innermost loop. Let's change this up and do for I in range 10, for j in range 10, print I and j. Let's say this time we don't like the number 3, so if either counter reaches 3, we break out of both loops. The best way to do this is with a flag variable. Outside of both loops, break outer equals false. Inside the inner loop, before the print, because that's how much we don't like 3, we'll check if either of I or j are 3. If I equals 3 or j equals 3, then we'll set break outer to true, then break from the inner loop. Last, outside the inner loop, but still in the outer loop, do if break outer, then break. If we run this code, you'll see we've effectively used the Python break statement and broken out of both loops, as 3 is never printed. The Python continue statement skips to the next run of a loop. For example, let's do for I in range 10. Inside the loop, print I. Today, we don't like the number 7, so we want to skip printing out 7. Before the print, we can do if I equals 7, continue. If we run this code, we'll see the printout skipped 7, which is exactly how the Python continue statement works. This poses an interesting question. If we erase the code inside of the for loop and add an inner for loop of for j in range 10, how does continue work in nested loops in Python? If inside the inner loop we did if j equals 7, then continue, then after that did print j, the continue would only skip the number 7 in the inner loop. It does nothing to affect the outer loop. The Python pass statement does nothing. So if it does nothing, what is the purpose of pass in Python? It's a placeholder for something in your code you can go back and fill in later, while the code you filled in still runs correctly. For example, let's say we're classifying a number as positive, negative, or 0. So, x equals 5. Let's imagine we don't know what we want to do with 0. If x equals 0, pass. Elif x greater than 0, print pause. Elif x less than 0, print neg. If we run this code, it will print pause. If, however, we removed the pass, this code wouldn't even run because it is expecting code after the first if. To look at another use case, let's say we wanted to make a function that greets people based on their name. But we don't know exactly how we want to handle the name at first. We just need the function to exist. We can do def greet that takes in a parameter name, colon, and then inside the function just write pass. This function does nothing, but you wouldn't run into an error if you had other code written past this function, as this function is syntactically correct. Like before, removing the pass would result in Python raising some sort of error. This has been Jakubication. Like and subscribe to learn more.